What if I told you the person you can't stop thinking about is not the story? The real story is your heart. You try to stay strong. You tell yourself to move forward. You fill your day with work, people, noise. But when the world becomes quiet, their name returns, their face returns, the memories return, and it feels powerful. It feels meaningful. It feels like it must mean something big. But here is the deeper question. What if this is not a sign of destiny, but a sign of examination? In Islam, the heart is never left unchecked. When something occupies it constantly, Allah is not unaware. He sees the attachment forming. He sees the hope rising. He sees the fear of losing. And sometimes He allows it, not to give you the person, but to reveal you to yourself. Can you control your thoughts? Can you protect your dignity? Can you trust Him without guarantees? Can you love without losing your balance? When you cannot stop thinking about someone, it feels like romance. But in reality, it may be refinement. This is where your patience is measured. This is where your self-worth is exposed. This is where your trust in Qadr is tested. Because not every heart that feels deeply is ready. Tonight, we are not just talking about missing someone. We are talking about mastering your heart while it is being pulled. And by the end of this, you will understand something powerful. The real victory was never about keeping them. It was about not losing yourself. The test of control. The first and most immediate examination is control. When someone keeps coming to your mind again and again, it can feel automatic. A memory appears. A conversation replays. You imagine what they are doing. You wonder what they are thinking. This happens naturally. You are not sinful for the first thought that enters your heart. But what you do after that first thought is where the test begins. Do you let the thought stay and grow? Do you sit with it for hours? Do you build stories in your head? Or do you gently shift your focus back to what you were doing? Islam does not ask you to become emotionless. It does not tell you to pretend you do not care. But it teaches you to manage your feelings instead of being controlled by them. There is a big difference between feeling something and being ruled by it. If thinking about this person makes you lose focus in your work, your studies, or your responsibilities, then your heart is slowly taking control of your life. If you delay your prayers because you are lost in daydreams, or if you rush through worship because your mind is somewhere else, then this is not just emotion. This is imbalance. The real question is simple. Are you guiding your heart, or is your heart dragging you wherever it wants? Self-control does not mean pushing your feelings away harshly. It means training your mind. When their name appears in your thoughts, you can say to yourself, "Not now." You can return to your task. You can make dhikr. You can take a deep breath and refocus. Every time you choose discipline over obsession, you grow stronger. If you wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone hoping for their message, that is a sign your heart needs training. If your mood depends on whether they respond or not, that is a sign your control is weakening. A believer is not someone who never feels deeply. A believer is someone who does not allow feelings to destroy their balance. Control means you can think about them without losing yourself. It means you can care without becoming restless. It means you can pause instead of reacting immediately. Strong hearts are built through small daily choices. Choosing not to send that unnecessary message. Choosing not to stalk their social media. Choosing not to replay the same memory for the 10th time. These small acts are not small in the sight of Allah. They are signs of maturity. The test of control is about proving that your heart belongs first to Allah, not to a human being. Because when you learn to guide your heart instead of being ruled by it, you do not just pass this test, you become stronger for every test that comes after it. The test of reality. When someone stays on your mind for a long time, the danger is not always the person. The danger is the story you begin to build around them. The human mind is powerful. When you do not have full information, your imagination fills in the gaps. You replay small moments and give them bigger meaning. You turn simple words into deep signs. You start to believe in a future that has never actually been promised. This is where the test of reality begins. Are you attached to who they truly are, or are you attached to who you hope they are? It is easy to fall in love with potential. You see a few good qualities, and you complete the rest of the picture in your head. You assume consistency without proof. You assume loyalty without evidence. You assume seriousness without clarity. But Islam teaches us to judge by actions, not by feelings alone. Reality is shown through consistent behavior. Does this person show respect openly? Do they act with integrity? Do they move in a clear and halal direction? Or is most of the connection happening inside your thoughts? Sometimes you are not thinking about the person. You are thinking about the version of them that exists only in your imagination. You imagine how kind they would be as a spouse. You imagine how peaceful life would feel. You imagine how everything would finally make sense if you were together. But imagination feels safe because it does not require proof. Reality requires observation. Reality asks hard questions. Does their behavior match their words? Do they make effort in a clear way? Do they protect your dignity? Or are you doing most of the emotional work alone? So when someone lives mostly in your head and not in consistent action, you are attached to an idea, not a person. And ideas cannot sustain real life. The test of reality is about grounding yourself. It is about stepping back and saying, what do I actually know for sure? What have they truly shown me? Strong feelings can blur vision. You begin defending behavior that you would normally question. You excuse silence. You justify mixed signals. You convince yourself that small attention means deep commitment. But clarity is a mercy from Allah. If you remove imagination from the situation and look only at facts, sometimes the answer becomes clear. If they wanted something serious, their actions would reflect seriousness. If they respected you deeply, it would show consistently. If they valued your future, they would protect it. Reality may feel less exciting than imagination, but it is safer. The test is whether you choose truth over fantasy, whether you accept what is actually happening instead of holding on to what you wish would happen. Because when you build attachment on imagination, disappointment becomes almost certain. But when you build understanding on reality, you protect your heart from unnecessary pain. A mature heart does not fall in love with dreams. It observes, it reflects, and it stays grounded. Passing the test of reality means you stop romanticizing and start recognizing. And recognition is what protects your peace. The test of emotional independence. When someone stays in your thoughts constantly, you must ask a deeper question. Do I want this person, or do I need this person? There is a big difference between wanting someone in your life and feeling like you cannot function without them. Emotional independence means your stability does not depend on another human being. You can care, you can hope, you can love. But your peace, your confidence, and your sense of worth are not tied to their behavior. When emotional dependence begins, it shows in small ways. Your mood changes depending on their reply time. If they respond quickly, you feel happy and secure. If they delay, your chest feels heavy. If they seem distant, you begin to overthink everything. That is not love growing. That is stability weakening. Islam teaches that the heart should be anchored first in Allah. When your heart is anchored correctly, no human being can shake your foundation completely. You may feel sadness, but you do not collapse. You may feel disappointment, but you do not lose yourself. If someone becomes the source of your emotional security, you have slowly handed them power that belongs only to Allah. Emotional independence does not mean being cold. It does not mean pretending you do not care. It means you remain whole, even while you care. You still pray on time. You still work towards your goals. You still smile with your family. You still sleep peacefully at night. Your life continues moving forward. If your appetite disappears because of them, if your focus is broken because of them, if your confidence drops because of their silence, then the test is clear. You are not being tested in love. You are being tested in balance. A healthy heart says, I would like this person in my life, but if Allah removes them, I will still survive. I will still stand. An unhealthy attachment says, if they leave, I will fall apart. The test of emotional independence is about proving that your identity does not depend on being chosen by someone. Your value is not proven by who stays. Your worth is not measured by who commits. Your peace is not secured by human approval. When someone dominates your thoughts, try this. Spend one full day focusing only on your own growth. Improve one skill. Read something beneficial. Strengthen your prayer. Exercise. Clean your space. Help someone. Notice how your heart feels when your energy is directed back toward yourself. Often, emotional dependence grows when we stop investing in our own lives. We wait for someone else to complete us instead of building ourselves. But Islam does not teach half people waiting for completion. It teaches strong individuals who choose each other from a place of stability. Emotional independence means you choose someone because you are strong, not because you are empty. If thinking about them makes you forget who you are, then this test is about remembering your strength. When your heart belongs to Allah first, every other connection becomes healthier. You love without fear. You hope without panic. You wait without losing yourself. And that is the kind of heart that is ready for something real. The test of silence and restraint. When someone stays in your heart, the strongest urge you feel is the urge to act. You want to send the message. You want to ask the question. You want to clarify the situation. You want to secure the outcome. Silence feels uncomfortable. Waiting feels heavy. Not knowing feels almost unbearable. This is where the test of silence and restraint begins. Restraint means you do not act on every emotion immediately. It means you pause. You breathe. You give space. When attachment grows, anxiety often grows with it. You fear losing them. You fear being misunderstood. You fear that if you do not act quickly, everything will disappear. But not every feeling requires action. Sometimes silence reveals more than words ever could. If you stop initiating for a while, what happens? If you stop chasing clarity, do they step forward? If you reduce your effort, does the connection continue naturally? Silence exposes balance. If something survives without you constantly holding it together, then it has strength. If it collapses the moment you stop pushing, then it was never stable. Restraint protects your dignity. It keeps you from saying things you might regret later. It stops you from over-explaining yourself. It prevents you from chasing someone who is not moving towards you with equal effort. Islam teaches patience not as weakness, but as controlled strength. When you feel the strong urge to text them at midnight just to feel closer, Restraint asks, is this wise? Is this necessary? Is this respectful of my values? When you feel the need to demand reassurance, restraint asks, am I acting from calmness or from fear? Silence is not always about ignoring someone. Sometimes it is about giving yourself time to think clearly. Strong emotions can make small issues feel urgent. You feel like everything must be solved right now. But many problems disappear when you wait calmly. Restraint is a form of self-respect. It means you trust that if something is meant for you, it will not disappear because you chose dignity over desperation. It means you do not beg for attention. You do not chase clarity that someone is not ready to give. You do not overextend yourself just to feel secure. Silence can also be a test of intention. If the connection is sincere, it will move forward with maturity. If it was built only on excitement and emotional rush, silence will expose that quickly. Not every gap needs to be filled. Not every pause needs to be broken. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Restraint shows emotional strength. It shows you are not controlled by fear. It shows that you value your peace more than temporary reassurance. When you cannot stop thinking about someone, then silence teaches you something important. Your heart must not panic just because it cares. If they are serious, they will move with clarity. If they are unsure, your silence will reveal that too. The test is simple but difficult. Can you sit with your feelings without reacting immediately? Because the one who masters restraint protects both their heart and their dignity, and dignity is always worth protecting. The test of priority. When someone stays in your thoughts all the time, something very quiet begins to shift inside your life. Your priorities slowly rearrange themselves without you even noticing. You wake up and check your phone before you pray properly. You delay important work because you are thinking about what they said. You spend hours analyzing small details instead of building your future. Oh, this is where the test of priority begins. Islam teaches that your time is a trust. Your energy is a trust. Your youth, your health, your focus. All of it is a trust from Allah. When one person starts consuming most of your mental space, you have to ask yourself honestly, what is this costing me? Thinking about someone is not wrong. Caring is not wrong. But when it starts affecting your responsibilities, your growth, and your worship, then the situation is no longer just emotional. It becomes a matter of order. A healthy attachment does not destroy structure. It fits into your life without replacing your purpose. If your goals are slowing down because of them, that is a sign. If your studies are suffering, your business ideas are paused, your personal development is delayed, then this test is not about love. It is about balance. Then ask yourself simple questions. Are you improving yourself, or are you waiting for them to choose you? Are you building your future, or are you building fantasies? Are you moving forward, or are you stuck in emotional monitoring? Sometimes we give someone the position of future spouse in our mind before any real commitment exists. And once we do that, we start organizing our life around a possibility instead of a reality. This is dangerous. Your life should not pause for someone who has not formally stepped into it. Priority means knowing what deserves your highest focus. Your faith deserves priority. Your character development deserves priority. Your family responsibilities deserve priority. Your growth deserves priority. A person who is serious about you will not want to distract you from your responsibilities. They will respect your focus. They will support your growth. They will not expect you to revolve around them. If you find yourself constantly checking for signs, waiting for messages, or replaying conversations while neglecting real work, then the imbalance is clear. You cannot allow emotional uncertainty to take the place of purposeful action. A believer's life should continue moving forward, no matter what is happening emotionally. If Allah has written someone for you, they will meet you at your level of growth. They will not require you to shrink your ambitions or weaken your discipline. The test of priority is about proving that your future is bigger than your feelings. It is about showing that you can care deeply while still staying committed to your responsibilities. Strong hearts do not abandon their path for a possibility. They continue walking. And if that person is meant to join them, they will meet along the way, not at the cost of everything else. The test of boundaries. When feelings grow stronger, boundaries become harder to protect. At the beginning, everything feels clear. You know your limits. You know what is appropriate. You know what conversations are safe and what situations to avoid. But when someone starts to mean something to you, your heart begins to negotiate with your standards. You tell yourself, it's just a small conversation. It's harmless. We're just talking. My intention is pure. This is where the test of boundaries begins. Boundaries are not there because you are cold. They are there because you are wise. They protect your heart before it becomes too deeply attached without security. Islam places limits not to make life difficult, but to prevent emotional damage before it happens. When attachment grows without commitment, vulnerability increases. You share more. You open up more. You become emotionally exposed without any clear promise of stability. If this person has not formally taken responsibility for you in a halal way, then your emotional access to each other should remain limited. Otherwise, you give away parts of yourself with no protection. Boundaries are about dignity. If conversations are becoming too personal, too frequent, or too intimate without clear direction, that is a sign. If you are speaking late into the night, hiding messages, or justifying secrecy, the line is already being crossed. Strong emotions can make you feel like the rules do not apply to you. But boundaries are tested most when feelings are strongest. The real question is simple. Are you protecting your heart, or are you slowly handing it over without security? Healthy boundaries look like this. You do not overshare your deepest emotions too early. You do not allow flirtation that has no serious direction. You do not sacrifice modesty for attention. You do not ignore red flags just because you feel connected. Boundaries also protect your future. If this person truly respects you, they will not pressure you to lower your standards. They will not push you into emotional closeness that is not yet deserved. They will move with clarity and honor. If someone disappears because you maintained boundaries, then they were never serious enough to deserve access to your heart. Boundaries reveal intention. When you hold your standards calmly and confidently, you send a message. I value myself. I value my faith. I value my future. And the right person will respect that. The test of boundaries is not about being strict for no reason. It is about preventing regret. Many people look back and wish they had protected their heart earlier. Do not wait for heartbreak to teach you discipline. If your attachment is pushing you to cross lines you once promised yourself you would never cross, then this is your moment to step back. A believer does not protect their heart after damage. They protect it before damage. Because once emotional lines are blurred, clarity becomes harder to restore. Passing this test means you choose long-term peace over short-term excitement, and that choice will always strengthen you. The test of accepting the unknown. One of the hardest parts of thinking constantly about someone is not the feeling itself. It is the uncertainty. You do not know what they truly feel. You do not know what will happen next. You do not know if this will turn into something real or slowly fade away. The mind begins searching for answers. You look for signs. You analyze every word. You try to predict the future from small details. This is where the test of accepting the unknown begins. Human beings naturally want certainty. We feel safer when we know the outcome. We feel calm when we have clear answers. But faith is not built on knowing everything. It is built on trusting even when you do not know. When someone stays in your thoughts, the strongest temptation is to force clarity. You want to ask direct questions immediately. You want guarantees. You want promises. But sometimes clarity comes with time, not pressure. Accepting the unknown means you stop trying to control what only Allah controls. You can make dua. You can ask for guidance. You can observe actions. But you cannot force destiny to reveal itself on your schedule. This test is about patience and uncertainty. Can you continue your life peacefully, even when the outcome is not confirmed? Can you trust that what is written for you will not miss you? Can you sleep at night without having every answer? When you overthink constantly, it often means you're trying to solve something that is not yet unfolded. The future is not meant to be fully visible. Allah sees what you do not see. He knows what you do not know. He knows the hidden intentions in their heart. He knows whether this connection will protect you or harm you. Accepting the unknown means you say, if this is good for me, let it come in the best way. If it is not, remove it gently. It means you release the need to control every detail. Sometimes the anxiety you feel is not about the person. It is about the fear of uncertainty. But uncertainty is part of life. You do not know how long you will live. You do not know what tomorrow will bring. You do not know which door will open next. Yet you wake up every day and continue moving forward. This situation is no different. If you demand answers too quickly, you may push something away that needed time. If you panic and act out of fear, you may damage something that could have grown naturally. Accepting the unknown requires emotional maturity. It means you understand that not every stage of life comes with immediate clarity. You can care about someone without demanding certainty right now. You can move forward with your goals while trusting that Allah is arranging what you cannot see. You can live fully without having every answer. The test is simple but deep. Can you remain calm without guarantees? Because true faith is not proven when everything is clear. It is proven when you stand steady even when the path ahead is hidden. The test of self-worth. When someone stays in your thoughts and the situation feels uncertain, one of the first things that gets shaken is your self-worth. If they pull away, you begin questioning yourself. If they respond less, you start wondering what you did wrong. If they choose differently, you feel replaced. Slowly, your mind turns against you. You replay conversations looking for mistakes. You compare yourself to others. You measure your value based on how much attention they give you. This is where the test of self-worth begins. Your worth cannot be built on someone's response time. Your value cannot depend on whether they choose you. Your honor was given to you by Allah long before this person entered your life. No human being has the authority to increase or decrease that. But when attachment grows, insecurity often grows with it. You may start thinking, maybe I'm not interesting enough. Maybe I'm not attractive enough. Maybe I'm not good enough for them. These thoughts feel real, but they are not truth. They are fear speaking. Another person's choice reflects their preferences, timing, and readiness. It does not define your value as a person. Sometimes someone walks away because they are not mature enough. Sometimes they leave because they are confused. Sometimes they are simply not meant to be part of your future. None of these reasons mean you are lacking. The test of self-worth is about remembering who you are without needing validation from anyone else. You are not valuable because someone is interested in you. You are valuable because Allah created you with purpose. When your self-worth is strong, you can handle uncertainty without breaking. If they stay, you remain balanced. If they leave, you remain standing. A healthy heart does not beg to be chosen. It understands that mutual choice is required for something real. If you find yourself constantly seeking reassurance, asking for confirmation, or needing them to prove your importance, then your sense of worth has shifted outward. You must bring it back inward. Spend time strengthening yourself. Improve your character. Build your skills. Deepen your faith. Surround yourself with people who respect you. When your self-worth is solid, you do not chase. You do not over-explain. You do not accept half-effort. You understand that the right person will not make you question your value daily. The test is not whether they choose you. The test is whether you choose yourself enough to walk away from anything that lowers your dignity. If someone cannot see your value, that does not reduce it. It only means they are not aligned with it. Strong self-worth allows you to love without losing confidence. It allows you to hope without fear of rejection destroying you. When your worth is rooted in faith, no human decision can shake it deeply. Passing this test means you stop measuring yourself by their attention, and you start remembering that your value was never negotiable to begin with. The test of release. There comes a point in deep attachment where holding on begins to feel heavier than letting go. At first, you tell yourself to be patient. Then you tell yourself to try harder. Then you tell yourself that maybe if you wait a little longer, something will change. But slowly, you begin to realize that your grip is tighter than the reality of the situation. This is where the test of release begins. Release does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean the feelings disappear overnight. It means you stop trying to control what is not in your hands. When someone lives constantly in your thoughts, you may believe that holding on proves loyalty. You may think that not letting go shows strength. But sometimes, the strongest act is surrender. Ask yourself honestly, are you holding on to clarity, or are you holding on to hope? There is a difference. Clarity is when actions match words. Hope without clarity is when you keep building expectations without evidence. And when you keep holding on to hope alone, your heart becomes tired. Release means accepting that you have done what you could within dignity. You communicated respectfully. You remained patient. You kept your boundaries. Beyond that, the outcome belongs to Allah. Many people struggle with release because they fear loss. They think, if I let go, it means I failed. Or they think, if I stop trying, they will disappear. But if something disappears the moment you stop forcing it, then it was never firmly standing. Release also protects your peace. When you hold on too tightly, you constantly check for signs. You analyze small details. You create meaning from silence. Your mind never rests. Your heart never settles. But when you say, Ya Allah, if this is good for me, bring it clearly. If not, remove it gently. Something changes inside you. You stop fighting the unknown. Release is not weakness. It is trust in Qadr. You begin to understand that what is written for you cannot miss you, and what misses you was never written for your future. Letting go does not erase memories. It does not erase emotion. It simply removes control from your hands and places it back where it belongs. It also restores your dignity. When you release, you stop chasing. You stop over-explaining. You stop proving your worth. You stop begging for consistency. You allow actions to speak for themselves. Release teaches you emotional maturity. It teaches you that love should not require constant struggle. It teaches you that peace is more valuable than obsession. Sometimes Allah keeps someone in your heart for a season to teach you strength. And when the lesson is complete, the heart must be willing to move forward. If you are constantly exhausted by thinking about them, that may be your sign. If you are anxious more than peaceful, that may be your sign. If you are holding on to almosts and maybes, that may be your sign. Release does not mean you close your heart forever. It means you free it from constant tension. The test of release asks one final question. Can you trust Allah enough to loosen your grip? Because when you finally do, you may discover that peace was waiting on the other side of surrender all along. The test of returning to Allah. After all the thoughts, the emotions, the waiting, the overthinking, the hope, and the fear, everything comes down to one final question. Has this attachment brought you closer to Allah or further away? This is the deepest test of all. When someone occupies your heart constantly, your focus shifts. Your mind becomes busy. Your emotions become intense. But in the middle of all that noise, you must ask yourself honestly, what has happened to my relationship with my Creator? Did this situation push you to make more dua? Did it make you wake up at night and speak to Allah with sincerity? Did it humble you and remind you that you are not in control? Or did it distract you? Did it make you delay prayer? Did it fill your mind so completely that you forgot dhikr? Returning to Allah means you use this emotional experience as a bridge, not a barrier. Every strong attachment is a reminder that your heart was created to attach deeply, but the heart was designed to attach first to Allah. When that order changes, imbalance begins. If thinking about this person makes you anxious instead of texting them immediately, turn to Allah first. If you feel confused, ask Allah for clarity before asking the person. If you feel afraid of losing them, remember that nothing leaves your life without Allah's permission. Returning to Allah means shifting your emotional dependence back to its rightful place. Instead of saying, I need them to feel okay, you say, Ya Allah, I need you. Instead of saying, I cannot live without this person, you remind yourself, I cannot live without your guidance. This test is about redirection. Sometimes Allah allows someone to stay in your thoughts, not because they are meant to stay in your life, but because He wants to bring you back to Him. He wants to show you how easily your heart can become attached. He wants to teach you how to purify that attachment. When you return to Allah sincerely, something changes inside you. The panic reduces. The desperation softens. The obsession weakens. You begin to see the situation differently. You understand that if this person is written for you, they will come in a way that protects your faith and your dignity. And if they are not written for you, Allah will replace them with something better for your dunya and your akhirah. Returning to Allah also means accepting His wisdom without resentment. It means you do not say, why did you take this away? You say, if you removed it, there is wisdom in it. It means you do not say, why haven't you given this to me yet? You say, you know the right time better than I do. The strongest believers are not those who never feel attachment. They are those who use attachment to deepen their faith. When your heart hurts, you pray more sincerely. When you feel confused, You seek guidance more seriously. When you feel uncertain, you increase your trust. This is what it means to pass the final test, because in the end, no human being is permanent in your life. Only Allah is. If this experience has brought you closer to Him, which made you stronger in patience, wiser in boundaries, deeper in self-awareness, then it was never a waste, even if the person does not stay. The real success is not winning someone's heart. The real success is returning your heart fully to Allah. And when your heart belongs to Him first, every other connection will either align beautifully or leave peacefully. After all the thinking, the hoping, the questioning, and the emotional waves, you finally realize something important. This was never just about a person. It was about your heart. When you couldn't stop thinking about someone, it felt like love or destiny or loss. But in reality, it was a mirror. It showed you your level of control. It showed you your boundaries. It showed you where your priorities were. It showed you how strong your trust in Allah truly is. Passing the test does not mean you end up with them. Passing the test means you do not lose yourself because of them. It means you learn to control your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. It means you chose reality over imagination. It means you stayed emotionally stable instead of becoming dependent. It means you respected silence instead of chasing reassurance. It means you kept your priorities in order and protected your boundaries. It means you accepted uncertainty without panic. It means you remembered your worth even if they hesitated. It means you were strong enough to release when holding on became harmful. And above all, it means you returned to Allah when your heart felt overwhelmed. That is success. Many people fail this test, not because they cared too much, but because they forgot themselves in the process. They compromised values. They chased without dignity. They built their identity around someone's attention. But a believer is different. A believer can feel deeply and still remain balanced. A believer can hope and still remain patient. A believer can love and still remain obedient. If this person stays in your life in a halal and honorable way, then you will meet them as a stronger version of yourself. And if they leave, you will walk away with more maturity, more clarity, and a heart that is more anchored in Allah. Nothing is wasted in Islam. Every attachment teaches. Every delay refines. Every unanswered question strengthens trust. Passing the test means you grow through it instead of breaking under it. In the end, the real victory was never about winning someone's presence. The real victory was protecting your heart while it was being tested. And when you protect your heart for the sake of Allah, He replaces confusion with clarity, anxiety with peace, and loss with something far better than you imagined.